excluded from the society wedding of Harry's childhood friend, the Duke of Westminster. But the Prince and Princess of Wales are still on the guest list.
It's reported the Duke wanted to invite Harry, but was conscious he could overshadow the day. But is it right to exclude the Sussexes? Journalist and royal commentator Afia Hagan says everyone should be invited, while former royal editor of The Sun, Duncan Larcombe, says there's no place for the couple anymore.
No place, Duncan.
I think this is an element of you reap what you sow. And when they were growing up, those boys had such a tight rule on speaking to the press, breaking that code. One strike and you're out, not three strikes. And unfortunately, Harry's broken his own code, the growing up.
Afia, you think this is terribly unfair?
I mean, what family doesn't have a bit of drama? I mean, Christmas is coming. There's lots of families up and down the country that are going to be forced to spend time with people that they may not get on with. And I think everybody should be invited, whether or not they will attend, whether Harry and Meghan and the kids even want to attend is absolutely up to them, and that's unknown. But I think everybody should be invited. And it shouldn't be about picking sides at this time, especially not something like a wedding. And this is the wedding of Archie's godfather. I think it's a real shame.
Yeah. Look, I wonder whether the Duke of Westminster has actually had a private conversation with Harry and Meghan and said, rather than us inviting you and then the media making a big thing of the fact you don't go, why don't we make it easier for you? We will just not invite you, and then the pressure is off them.
Equally, though, we don't know whether the Duke of Westminster's had a conversation with Prince William, who said, do not invite my brother.
Do you think that's possible?
Or could have had a conversation with King Charles III, who said, you know, you pick one and it has to be William that we invite. We just don't know what's happened.
Whose special day is this? It's not the special day for William and Kate or Harry and Meghan. It's the Duke of Westminster and his bride.
Yep.
Why should her day be overshadowed by photos of the warring factions outside? I mean, to be honest, it'd be quite understandable not to invite any of them.
But exactly. And this is the thing, is that Harry and Meghan not being invited is a story. Harry and Meghan being invited and not turning up is a story.
Yes.
Harry and Meghan being invited and turning up is a story. Either way, you know, we're talking about the wedding, but we're talking about Harry and Meghan being invited
But
rather
there's no
than their
standoff
special
pictures.
day.
If they both came, you'd have pictures of Harry, pictures of William, are Meghan and Kate talking to each other. That won't be there. Surely the photo should be of the bride and groom.
Absolutely, I agree with you. It should be. And I think that if Harry and Meghan were invited, there would be a certain section of society that would just be looking at them, you know, what are they wearing, what are they not wearing, how are they walking, are they holding hands, are they not? You know, every little thing that they did or did not do would be scrutinised.
The kind of people who discuss it on Good Morning Britain.
Exactly.
Yeah. Duncan, but it's a good point, isn't it? I mean, it's a high society wedding.
Oh, yeah.
The Duke is the richest person in the country.
Certainly one of them.
The King and the heir to the throne will be there, likely. It's the emphasis and focus is off the bride anyway. I feel a bit sorry for the bride.
Well, I mean, I was here a couple of weeks ago discussing whether Harry and Meghan should have been invited to Sandringham at Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas can be a time of tension, and
But
I
at least
said no.
that's a little bit private,
But
apart from the walk to the church.
somebody else's wedding, and I mean, if you're going to be able to invite the King to your wedding, you're going to choose him above his son, who has chosen to exile himself from the royal family. And like I say, it's unfortunately for Harry, you reap what you sow.
Isn't the truth, Afia, that, you know, even people who were champions for a really good reason of Harry and Meghan and all the things they were trying to do and the change they were bringing in, I mean, even their supporters now are sort of waning, aren't they? Because, let's be honest, they've kind of blown it.
I don't know that they have. I think, you know, with the release of Endgame, I think actually all it's done is shore up those two camps. So, like you rightly said, you have people who have supported and will continue to support Harry and Meghan, and you have people who frankly don't. And I think the release of the book and, you know, all these conversations...
How about people in the middle? What do you think people in the middle are thinking?
There's people in the middle who are thinking, we just don't care. Honestly. And I think actually Endgame is just shoring up those camps. You know, people that will support them will continue to support them. People who don't will not. And then there's just lots of people who are just like, ah. why we continue to talk about it.
Duncan, there's this amendment being introduced into Parliament by an MP, Bob Seeley, which says that they should be stripped of their titles. Is that likely to have any impact? I mean, is it likely to come into force? Would it have any impact on them?
No, he would be enacting a law that was brought in to strip the German nobility of their titles during the First World War. So it's hardly that relevant. But no, if they are going to lose their titles, that is a decision specifically for King Charles, and I can't see MPs wading in to make that decision on his behalf.
All right.
It'll never happen.
Duncan, Afia, thank you both very much indeed.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If I was the Duke of Westminster, I'd just go to a registry office and do it quietly. Just me.
Look, I reckon invite who you want to your wedding.
Yeah.